Financial Fashion Network is a platform we have created to host events and build community by creating content that promote personal development, financial awareness, and mental health. And it's our main goal to be a motivating force to everyone in the world. Now, if you want to support our brand, you can go to www.fnfstore.com and you can find our apparel and you can, support the brand. Take a look at our hoodies, take a look at our joggers. It's getting ready to get cold. So if you see something you like, you can actually get 10% off your first order by using discount code FNF10. Thank you. You are now tuned in to We Invest Different Podcast, where we have high-level conversations. I'm Mr. John Michael Best.
And I'm Victor Thomas II.
Let's tap in. On conversation number 38, I started out wanting to talk about being true and being smart, but the conversation evolved into a conversation about hip-hop and how the content in the music has changed, and where did that change come from? We came to the conclusion that it came from, the exploitation of big record labels, and now it's starting to be about the money, the sex, and the women, which is what runs the music and entertainment industry now because it sells. So we wanted to talk about this to shine awareness because what's in the music does affect us. Tap in. Welcome to another conversation of We Invest Different Podcast. I'm co-host Mr. John Michael Best.
And I'm your other co-host, Victor Thomas II.
And we are gathered once again, man, for another conversation. This is conversation number 38. How are you feeling, King?
Feeling good, man. Energetic, man. Woke up, man. Started looking at some marketing stuff this morning. So, yeah, man. Feeling good. How about you?
Man, I'm not even gonna cap you down, bro. I started my day off the wrong way. Soon as I woke up, I grabbed my phone, and the first thing I seen was Takeoff being shot and killed.
Yeah.
And I
Takeoff.
couldn't read. I couldn't even man. I was like, wow, I couldn't even believe it. And once I went to Twitter and it was confirmed, I was like, man, I felt like I really lost somebody, even though I didn't know him personally. It's just that year after year after year, we admired Takeoff.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about Take, we never heard him getting into it with nobody.
Real talk.
Bruh stayed out the way. He didn't and even when it came down to commenting on certain things, bro kept that he kept it solid. I felt like he was a positive guy, man.
Word.
His energy just was different than anybody else in the group. And rest up, Takeoff, man. But it inspired me, man, to just pay more attention to how I move in society. Pay more attention to my energy, man, and who I'm around. So that's the lesson that I got off of that. But a topic, man, that we wanted to talk about, and I'm gonna ask you how you doing, and I'm gonna ask you how your week was and all of that stuff, etc. But a topic that crossed my mind after all of this happened, man, it just was like being smart and being yourself. How beneficial is that? Being smart and being yourself. But before that topic, how was your week? How was life? How's everything?
Going good, man. Week been good. Just working, staying focused. Working on my consistency, man. Working on that consistency. That's I ain't gonna hold you. That's my number one downfall. Being consistent.
At what?
Whatever task is ahead of me. It's like I might draw up these plans that require me to be consistent. I guess like making music every day. You know,
Right.
sometimes life happens. You end up getting extra tired one day, and then you skip it, and then that turn into another day, and then you know what I mean, snowball
Right.
effect. So that's my thing. Remembering and staying consistent no matter what. And also, if I don't, then I need to get back on that horse ASAP.
Right.
But I think that's the number one thing that I've been learning lately though. But how's your week been, man?
Bro, my week has been like, I ain't gonna lie, ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? I've been having a task that I need to be getting done, but I need help from someone. Like, I need a truck. So I've been like trying to get a task done. Like, I got a washing machine and dryer to go get, and I've been trying to get help, and I've been by myself. So, like today, trying to see if I can go get it today. But anyway, man, for the most part, I had some minor frustrations, but I feel like overall, it's been a very prayerful week for me, because it's a lot been going on, and I've been working on my mental space as far as things, like me going through things in my life, and I'm just remaining grateful. I'm remaining in a peaceful spirit. I'm remaining, in a good energy. I've been working on using prayer to maintain good energy. So that's what I've been working on, when something happens, because when something happens, that's when it matters the most. It's so easy to get into conversations and we feel good, we talk about things, and then boom, when something happens, bro, that's when we gotta execute and we have to put into practice those things that we talk about. So I've been very deliberate on asking the Lord to give me those things that I need to better my mind, better my energy, better my spirit every day. Not just at certain times, but just every day.
All right.
So tapping in, man, with all this stuff going on, I wanted to talk about, me and myself being smart, because this situation with Takeoff made me think just the smallest mistake, just being in the smallest, wrong situation, the wrong place can turn fatal. And I'm not saying that that's what happened to him. I'm just saying this is the lesson I got out of the situation. Like, because I see sometimes when I be traveling, I want to stop in the hood and go to a gas station. I want to stop in the hood and go different places because I love the city. But we have to understand the powers that be, and that everybody isn't in the same headspace as you. Everybody don't have the same respect as you. Everybody don't have the same love as you. So we got to move and be around people that appreciates us and not tolerate us. You know what I'm saying? People that love and people that have the consciousness of loving. And I feel like we need to love ourselves, bro. We gotta love ourselves, because if I love myself, it's the less I'm gonna want to hurt somebody else.
Yeah, that's a love a lot of folks don't understand, man.
Do you think like in the streets, right? Do you think love is considered?
I think as far as love is understood in the hood, I don't think the hood understand that kind of love that's like, I love myself and you're, we all one. I don't think the hood understand it to that degree. I think it's like I love me, I love my family, and that's it.
Bro, that's true. Because me growing up, you're not really taught anything about love. Like, but outside of, okay, now if you grow up in the church, then cool. We hear a little thing about love, but I'm speaking from a standpoint of being in the streets, because, my daddy wasn't in the church. So I never talked about, it was never conversations about showing love to others, being nice, doing good things, being good in the, like, those type of conversations were extinct. If it wasn't like your grandmother, if it wasn't like your big mamas, you know what I'm saying? You ain't hear that type of talk. You heard, only thing you heard was, standing up for yourself, not being no punk, not being no hoe. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm saying that love, man, would have brought a little balance to everything. And I feel like because we grew up without that love and without that consciousness, that's where all of the anger and all of the built up aggression comes from. Not even to mention, like you were saying earlier when we was having this conversation about Charleston White and about the music and about the rappers putting things out and stuff like that. Like you said, we don't really think that has, takes a toll on our mental, because words are spirits. And in addition to how we were raised, we listen to rap music. We listen to things that talk about killing your sisters and brothers and degrading women. You know what I'm saying? Like, we listen to that stuff and we internalize that stuff, because like even when we're not listening to it, it's playing back in our minds. Like, you can just be walking down the street, and because you listen to this song, like, I just fucked up a bit in some Gucci flip-flops. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit play back and you ain't even listening to the song. Like, there's a reason why that happens. Subconsciously we are eating and stuff, and it desensitizes us because we thinking that, it's just a song, but we're really rapping these lyrics and we're listening to these lyrics. And honestly, I didn't think it took a toll on your mindset. I didn't think so. Like, when people used to tell me that rap music, don't listen to rap music, I'm like, bro, it's just music. But then when I grew up and started really understanding why they was telling me that, I understand now. Like, those are conversations that we're listening to. Just like us sitting here talking, like putting that headphone in our ears and they rapping. We listening to somebody talk. Right.
And then it's to a beat that kind of puts us in a trance, you know what I mean? So we super soaking it in at that point.
Wow, man. Wow.
So I be like, a lot of folks don't even really be tuned in to the artist. It's really the beat. And it's like the content of the song, it gets sprinkled on top of that beat that's really what we really enjoying. It's the beat. But it's like the lyrics jumping in and infiltrating our minds because of the beat.
Damn, do you think we can have culture without music?
No, we can't. We got to have music.
But how can we, do you think it's anything positive can come out of music? Like, okay, like, in your opinion, how the industry is right now, like, do you see any other type of industry outside of this industry? Like as far as rap music, how can you describe another industry besides the one that we have? Like, do you see any type of other industry that could produce entertainment the way the industry is now?
You mean like the rap industry?
Yeah, like okay, like the rap industry right now is basically trap. It's drugs, women, trap. It's trap, drugs, women. So, money. But all of that is in trap though. So that's mainstream. That's mainstream entertainment. That's mainstream hip hop right now. Mainstream hip hop right now is trap.
Well, see, let me correct you first.
Okay, correct me.
Because that's a problem that I be having. This shit is not hip hop, bro.
I said rap.
You just said.
I said hip hop.
Yeah, you said hip hop. You been saying rap, but just now in your last statement you said hip hop. That's why I
take that out. My bad. Right. Let me take that out. Rap, because it has evolved away from hip hop. Hip hop was safe competition. I feel like, let's talk about that, bro. That was a good point you just made. What is hip hop to you?
Man, hip hop is when it's talking about positivity, man, uplifting. You know what I mean? I remember I was talking to an older chick who was in the hip hop scene in Atlanta back in the day. You know, she was making some noise, and she gave me an acronym for hip hop that was so hard, bro. But it had something to do with, you know, inspiring, healing. You know what I mean? Like, had broke it down. HIP, HOP was something positive, bro. And I wish I could remember it. But anyway, that's what it was about. That's what it's supposed to be about. And if something doesn't fall into being like that, I'd never call it hip hop, bro. Hip hop is storytelling, where, you know, one line, like, it's a whole story. It's not like, in an art way, it's not like rap right now. It's like, nigga might say a line about, like, I'll jump in my whip and it's red. And then the next line, I got this girl and she say I'm stuck in her head. It's like that line ain't had nothing to do with the next line.
Yeah, it's just about rhyming. No, it ain't about making sense.
Right. It don't gotta make sense no more. But hip hop, this line gonna have something to do with that line, and the next line, it's like niggas just ain't jumping from topic to topic. Hip hop really trying to get a message out. And in order to give a message, it gotta have some type of synchronicity. Hope I'm saying that right. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean, bro. And that was powerful because that shit makes sense. But my next question, let's send me to my next question about hip hop. Cause like, people did have real beefs back then, bro. Let's not cap.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
When hip hop was hip hop, people did have beef. But in terms of how music was made, I agree 100%. Like, you can literally listen to a song and you can learn a lesson because it made sense. Now it's like, you have to remember a line in a song that made sense. Like, it's not the whole song as a whole. Like, I listened to this song, got a whole little, you know, whoop the whoop. But it'd be like a line that the person said that you remember from the song. It's not like the whole overall message.
Right. They might, and that's one thing. And then remember what I told you about, like, how I feel about, you know, 2 Chainz music. Like, it be Ryan, don't get me wrong. But 2 Chainz and a few other rappers is like, they like to sprinkle in lines. They don't give you a whole message in the verse. It's like, we'll say this one line that's positive, but it's gonna be surrounded by bull jump. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what you hear a lot of now. Cause I'm checking out Lil Baby new album. And you know, I remember he had a few lines that were like, oh yeah, that's solid right there. But then of course it's the other stuff involved too. And I think, you know, a lot of time the message get lost in all of that. Then you got the beat going, then you got a million other lines talking about nothing else.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It's really crazy. But going back to what hip hop originally started being in terms of like unity, I do know that niggas used to get out of line on songs. Like, don't get me wrong, like every song that was created in hip hop wasn't true. Like, let's also say that. Like, just like how people capping now, everybody that rapped back then wasn't living the life that they said they was living either.
Right.
But it wasn't like that they was promoting their lifestyle, or like, it wasn't like, okay, like most of the time the street niggas back in the day, they made it known that they were street niggas, but niggas, real street niggas wasn't rapping.
Right. Very tough.
So it was different. So it was like the niggas that was really in the streets was trying to push the niggas that could rap. Versus like, you trying to pretend to be a street nigga and you rapping. Then you want to start rapping, making money, and start trying to do the things that you saying in your music. Then you end up getting killed or going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then too, I think it was more so building up the melanated people. Like back then, like during the times, like it was just a different era. Like we understood who the real enemy was. Now everybody our enemy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Not everybody the op. So it's like we were more unified because we knew what the real game was. And that was before, you know, these big record labels came in and destroyed the industry. You know, it was before then where they start promoting certain types of music as the main music. You see what I'm saying? Like, I I do think that it was a strategy behind music all along, but I feel like it was less controlled. It was less promoting killing your brother and sister. It was more so us fighting back and unifying and fighting the war. Like, started changing, because I feel like it came more so about money. It wasn't about freedom anymore. Like, we wasn't freedom fighting no more. It was more so about making a living.
Mm-hmm. I was looking at this documentary the other day about artists getting jewelry, and when you look, they did like a timeline of artists. And I'm just saying this in regards to what you said about it being about money. But if you look back at the old hip hop artists, man, they wasn't into all that flash. They was all about the message. You dig what I'm saying? Like, think about your KRS-One, for example.
Yeah, that's a hard one. He's so dope.
Mm-hmm. He's about the message and still is. I ain't saying that KRS-One don't own some chains or nothing, but when I think of KRS-One, I just think of a regular dude that got a message. I don't think about all that flash as if I were to think about the Migos. If I think about the Migos, I'm immediately thinking about foreigns and diamonds. You feel me?
Boy, what? That's the only thing you think about first. You don't even think about their music first.
The first thing I see is, I'm being real. As soon as I think about the Migos, the first thing popping in my mind is Quavo, Diamond T.
Wow.
That's the very first thing I think about.
For that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. You're fueling the economy. You know what I'm saying? So, what era? Okay, I'm gonna ask you this question because I'm very interested. This shit is very interesting, like, because it has a lot to do with the way we think. Because, like we just said, we culture without music. This shit is created even before rap came out, even before the term music was what became mainstream. I'm talking about like when back in the days when melanated people used to make their own music and dance. So music has always been a part of culture. But I don't think that this type of demonic music has been a part of the culture. I feel like something changed. So with me saying that, in what era do you feel like it became more about money? Like, was it okay? The rap came out in the late 70s, right? I guess the mid 70s, early 70s, something like that.
Yeah.
And throughout its evolution, it got cooler and cooler throughout the 80s. Like, the shit started getting swagged out. So, in what era, the 80s, 90s, or the 2000s, when do you think that shift came to where things became more about the money and less about the message?
I would say like the early 2000s, man. And if I had to put like something on it to signify that time, I would say Bling Bling.
Oh, you talking about Cash Money?
I ain't gonna say it was them, but that time. You feel me? That's when I can recall like a shift happening and it being more about look what I got. It ain't about the message no more. It's about look what I got.
Okay, my opinion on this, bro. I really think Biggie started it. I think Diddy and all of them. I think Bad Boy started that shit, bro.
I can definitely see that too.
Like, cause he made that shit cool. Like, Biggie just sold drugs, and when Biggie came out, he talked about that shit.
Facts.
And he talked about being fresh and talking to honeys. Like, he gave you a whole he gave you a whole
that was like talking to honeys.
Bro, I'm saying though, like, he gave you a whole vision. He gave you a whole vision of what it felt like to be a dope ass nigga, bro.
Oh yeah, and that's what people be valuing him on too. They say he painted that picture so well, man. People actually say that he was good at painting that picture, real good.
And to think about it, he like we knew he was a street nigga, but like majority of his music, this nigga was really just flowing about life. But okay, then you had Biggie. Okay, cool. Biggie passed away. Then you had niggas like Mace,
yeah,
Cameron, like all of these folks, like all of these New York people, bro, they started evolving into that lifestyle of the rich and famous.
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie, I mean, they led hip hop for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So like and in that time, New York was still running shit.
Yep.
And I think that vibe and that energy of that lifestyle, that shit changed the road when the South picked that shit up. And you had the niggas out of Memphis, you know what I'm saying? You had people out of Memphis start talking about the dope game and having money, having hoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit it started changing, like, slowly but surely. And then the South started having something to say. And then that's when, you know, the 2000s came and trap was born. Like, first it was the money, you know, the money, like, niggas was already talking about drugs, but I'm talking about like a whole song talking about trap. Like, being in the trap, the bandos. Like, for a while you didn't know what, you know, a bando was. For a while you didn't know what, you know, like the vocabulary and the verbiage was changing in the music. Like, niggas was talking about things. Niggas was talking about robbing niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, the content just started being manipulated. I feel like the content was always the same, but just in different ways. But the shit just started being, you know, forced. Like, that lifestyle was just like, okay, this is what we gonna promote. This is the shit that people like. This is the shit that people want to see. And it started being strategic. Like, that shit started being strategic then, because it started becoming more about money. That's why I said Diddy. That's really why I said Diddy. Like, after Diddy, after Biggie died, that's when that shit really popped off, bro.
I can definitely see that. And then it also just made me think about that's the point when, you know, it was around that time when hip hop started to be very lucrative. Cause I mean, when it first popped off, boy, nigga was saying like, oh, hip hop was just a fad. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of folks were saying. Like, this ain't gonna last long. But then once they started saying, oh, folks really messing with that. And then I guess them powers that be stepped in and said, oh, okay, we got something here. We gonna take this and use this how we want to use it to, you know, fill up our jails and get folks locked up. You know what I mean? Not locked up, but get folks with, you know, charges and stuff like that killed. You know what I mean? That's what I really think happened.
And did he sign Big to a deal?
I believe so.
You see, that's what I'm saying.
Big was bad boy.
See, that's what I'm saying. When the industry, when the big business came into hip hop, when the big business hit hip hop, bro, it changed. So, cause it's like, okay, you brought Biggie, okay, you had Bad Boy, cool, but Bad Boy, I don't think Bad Boy was because I don't think he was just on Bad Boy.
Oh no, yeah, it was definitely a parent label. That's what they call it. And I can't recall who that was. I want to say Universal.
But somebody was being paid, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. They was up under a major label.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think the exploitation came from that. Like, that exploitation came from that, and then that's when they really realized that we can really make them slaves, because they are like rap. Rap is cool, but don't nobody want to rap broke. They understood that. Like, they understood that we was doing it for fun, and but we wasn't doing it as a profession.
Right.
And they understood that it can be a profession because people was listening. After they found out that people was listening to this shit, after they thought it was gonna be a fad, oh damn, this shit really continuing to go and grow. Then that's when big business, aka, you know, the elites that be, the people that own these companies, they started seeing how they could manipulate the system and push out what folks want to hear. And that's why it's so easy for them to go get a nigga out the hood and be like, okay, we're gonna sign you to $1 million deal, but we need 4 albums. We need 4 albums in this time, this contract time, and you can rap about this. It has to be only a certain way. You have to look this certain way. You have to talk this certain way. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's really a job that they give these people, and because they know that they don't have no money, they gonna do it. They gonna take the deal. They gonna sign the deal. They gonna take the advance.
That's where you got people talking about some, selling out. But I mean, hell, what you gonna do? You had a lot of these hip hop dudes and smack dab in the hood, really selling crack.
Exactly.
Who ain't finna turn down $1 million, bro?
Wu-Tang, look at Wu-Tang, bro. I'm talking about one of the dopest groups in the world to ever exist. And like, they understood too. They understood the business and shit. They started learning and catching on what was going on, but they was trying to finesse the system. They went out it. Let me calm down. They went about it in a strategic way. Like, I think they used their head a lot. Because they understood, they saw the shit coming. They understood what deals did. They understood what was at stake, and they understood the things that they'll be able to do if they got a major deal. But good thing that RZA was the one, like, he was the mastermind of the group, because he was really trying to set them up to remain owners. Like, after he went through his little battle with having the deal, and he saw how they was trying to really make him a slave and create a person that he wasn't. Like, because RZA had a deal under a whole nother name, like, with me watching the show. Like, I seen him get a deal, a solo deal. His old rap name was Rakim. And shit, he got signed to a deal and it didn't go well. But it didn't go well because, of course, he didn't have no creative control. The single that he wanted to promote, they didn't want to promote that single. They chose his single. Like, I'm just saying, he understood that they were making him a slave. So after he got out of that situation, he took what he learned, came back to the group, and he created his own record label, and he made sure all of the group was signed as a group and signed individually. So it was just like, we need to make sure that we can cap off of our music. And like, he had clauses and shit, like, you couldn't even, like, all of the money had to go back to the group. Like, he made it, like, he was a mastermind, bro. And I can't get into full detail because I'm not him. Right. So but all I know is that I seen them being very strategic, and they seen the changes coming when it comes to the record labels and shit like that.
I'm gonna have to go check that out, man. I never did watch that docu-series.
Oh, dang, for real?
Nah, I don't know why, bro. It was just something about it that was like, man, I ain't trying to watch this. I don't know what it was about it, bro. I don't know.
Bro, when I say it's really good and then get into real detail, and you know RZA, he executive producer.
Oh, RZA, that guy. I do know about RZA now. He that guy. I don't, you know, when it comes to producing, I'm checking him out all on YouTube and everything, bro. That dude.
Yeah, bro. So this show that they have, bro, like, he admitted, okay, some of it, of course, you have to dramatize it, but he made sure that the main message of the show was true. Like, the episodes, as the episodes go, of course, you got in between things to make it to put a full story on it.
Yeah.
But the whole message of it, of what really happened, is true. Like, so he made sure they put real shit inside of the show. So definitely check that out. And you can see the transitions that they went through, you know what I'm saying, with trying to make it and trying to make the best decisions or whatnot.
I'm checking that out today for sure.
But that shit showed me, that's what I'm saying, like, niggas was broke doing what they love to do. Like, and they was just trying to make it. So when these people that got money see that, bro, that's how hip hop changed, bro. That's how I feel hip hop changed. They seen that this was something that we obviously invented and we were good at, and they didn't understand. But they knew that people liked it. And it was an opportunity to make money, like they always done. They always take conventions. They always take culture. They always, you see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, they gonna capitalize off of anything they can. I mean, everything. Pretty much everything. And when you said that, it made me think about that Lior video you brought up that day. When he was talking to Charlemagne.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro. It don't get no more blatant than that, bro.
He had nothing else to say. Like, he knew he couldn't go too long without responding. So it just came out. It's just like, shit, we got family to feed too.
Straight up.
Like,
straight up.
And like, if that should be being reposted all over the internet. But instead, we still talk about Kanye. Instead, you see what I'm saying? Like, this shit is all controlled, which make me feel like, because hip hop was exploited by the record labels, right? It made me feel like it changed music forever, because now, even if you come in the game independent, you still gonna talk about the same shit that the people had on the record labels that hired them. You still gonna talk and promote about the same message that the big labels want you to talk about anyway, because you think that's what's gonna sell anyway. They set the tone. When they set the tone by hiring these folks and making them rap certain shit, now everybody that come after them think they got to do the same thing to make it.
Yep.
And that's how they changed that shit, bro. They changed the music content forever. Like, now you can't talk about positivity, because now niggas paying to be Billboard #1. Now niggas paying for their album to be seen. It's so manipulated now that if you do put out that type of music, it won't get pushed, because niggas paying for shit now. It's not about talent. It's less about talent now. You got to have some talent. Don't get me wrong. You got to be likable. But like, don't necessarily got to be talented. You just got to be likable. Like, think about Ice Spice right now. Like, garbage.
Yeah, I tried to listen to one of her whole songs the other day, and I can't do it, bro.
But she's trending, and they understand that. Because she's a light male, she's a light female. This shit is very strategic, but she ain't got natural hair for no reason. Like, I'm saying, and like, of course, you gotta have her twerking on the video. I'm saying, there's nothing. They're selling her. They're not selling her music. Like, they're selling her.
And that makes sense. And that's what I was just saying. That makes sense.
But do you feel like that's like, this shit is crazy, bro? It's just exploitation, is what I'm saying. Like, do you feel like everybody that got a major deal is being exploited?
That I can't say, because I think some artists genuinely believe in what they talking about, and I don't really see as no exploitation in that. It's like they just jumping on the wave that they want to be on. But I do believe there are artists, and it has been reported that there are artists that want to change up their content, but because of the paperwork they signed, they are unable to. That is definitely a thing. And I believe that happened to Kick Push. What's his name? Lupe. Yeah, I believe that happened to Lupe. Because if you remember, Lupe had a big like buzz going on.
He was the guy,
he just kind of disappeared.
He really did. I'm like, man, Lupe was like the #1 artist. Everybody was singing his stuff, bro.
Now, don't quote me now, but I believe, well, I ain't even gonna say Lupe, but I've heard a story about an artist coming to a label and saying, okay, I want to talk about this. And the label saying, well, we need an X amount of albums about this, which is bullshit. We need an X amount of albums of bullshit first before you can talk about that.
Wow, man.
That's how these labels move, bro. And you know, like you said, it's exploitation. It's an agenda behind it. You know, they trying to tear down the community, bro. And that's why I really can't listen to a lot of stuff like that no more. Cause it's like, once you hip to it and you understand it's more than just music, it's like, man. That's why somebody young dude asked me the other day, what kind of music you listen to? And to my surprise, bro, my response was gospel. Cause that's the only music that I can listen to that's gonna feed me at the same time. Anything else, bro, like R&B cool, but sometimes R&B is starting to get a little rappish at this point. But anything else, bro, it's pretty much like I'm listening to it and it's like taken away from me at the same time. I need to listen to some stuff that's gonna build me up.
Man, you 100% right, brother.
100%
right. It's like, honestly, I think we can make anything cool, and I just feel like we so connected and we so we got traumatized to the music, man.
What you mean by that? Traumatized to the music? I like that. It got a ring to it.
Think about this, man. Like, niggas slide listening to these songs. Niggas go commit whole murders to this music, bro.
Right.
It's gonna be in their life forever. It's gonna be on their conscience forever. And because it's like this stuff is fueling people's behavior, it's being internalized. So it's kind of hard to break that cycle when stuff is being internalized. You internalizing the music by your actions.
And even just our attitudes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just imagine if you in a whole relationship and you listening to music that talking about fuck these bitches and these hoes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A person may not want to believe it, but it's impacting the relationship.
Right, bro.
Ain't no way it's not.
You're right, because I say the word bitch a whole lot. Like, I say the word bitch a lot, and it's one of my favorite cuss words. Because it's just the way it sounds. Like, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Just the way it sounds. But it's in the music. Let's be honest. Like, all of the cuss words, like the verbiage that we use the most, lingo and all of this stuff is in the music. So literally, you can get culture off of the music. Literally, bro. It would influence your thought process and your actions. So like I said, the point I was making by saying we can make anything cool. Like I said, like the reason I don't see good music being made cool is because of the traumatized. Like, it's so many people that live in poverty and listen to this music to feel better.
Real talk.
And like, to take that away from them, like, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah. I think it just comes down to really pushing hope. Because that's what need to be put into the music. Because it's like, just imagine if you're not in the circumstance or the situation that you want to be in financially or whatever. You know, it's like you go to this music and it's almost like you get to step into a different world for 3 minutes.
Right.
I'm the big trapper. I got the millions. I'm rapping these lyrics. And this is why it sells so good to white people, because they want to go on that experience that they may have otherwise never been able to get a glimpse of through the music.
Exactly, bro.
So
then
that's why
they go to the shows.
Huh?
Then they go to the shows and really see these artists.
Bro, they be packed down in there, bro. I done seen videos where it's like an all-white crowd. And I'm sure you have too, but it's that fantasy. I'm involved. You know what I mean? And that's why you have so many rappers now, when they ask you, like, what did you listen to? You know, they listen to other rappers that was living these lives. And it very well could have been a way for them to escape their current situation. And that's the power of music, bro. It's almost like an escape. But it's like, damn, with this rap shit, bro, like, we escaping to some more fuck shit. It sounds good on the surface. You know, I got M's, I got this, I got that. But it's stuff that's behind that a lot of rappers don't really talk about.
I think we gotta put more music out, bro. I think the people that's doing other things in life, like, instead of just taking pictures of your Bentleys and stuff that you got from real estate, like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. I understand you gotta show people what you accomplished from real estate. But I feel like I think everybody that's successful in other industries need to make a rap song. They need to make an album, bro. Like, make an album. And I think, like, people that's successful outside of the streets, right? I ain't talking about folks that got it out of the streets, selling drugs and shit like that. That's already the narrative of the rappers. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about folks who really, like, started to understand the way this shit's supposed to go. Start leveling up their mindset, start leveling up how they doing stuff. Like, I think everybody need to make an album. Like, they need to put some of this shit in the music and put this shit out, because we need to understand that that's not the only way to make money. You can live life and have. I don't promote having, you know, a lot of women, but what I'm saying, if that's what you want, like, you can have it without doing certain things. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can genuinely just have women that want to be around you and fuck with you. You ain't even gotta be selling drugs. You ain't gotta be killing them niggas. Like you can
Right.
you can just really just be that guy that's attractive and that's worth being attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that's one of the ways we can change the narrative. Like we can start putting out better content. Everybody can start putting out better content. And since we're talking about hip hop, since we're talking about the entertainment industry, I just feel that people that are outside of hip hop, but people who are outside of hip hop that support hip hop, but became successful in other industries, we all should give our spill into hip hop, bro. I think we all should just have a word to say. You know what I'm saying? Because if we come together, all these successful people coming together, we'll start changing the narrative and we'll start showing motherfuckers like, okay, if you want to rap, you can still rap. You don't have to be a slave. If you want to rap, you still could express yourself and put it in another form.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think the artists just got to start growing. That's how they start talking about different shit. Like those artists that came from the street, I feel like if they start connecting with motherfuckers like who come from the streets but didn't become successful from the streets, like start connecting. Like we need to start reaching out to motherfuckers, like, and stop quitting. Like we gotta keep trying. Like we gotta keep trying, keep putting shit out, keep trying, because it's not a journey that's gonna ever end. So I just think that we just gotta choose our part in the fight and start.
Yeah, for sure.
I gotta make a hit, bro. Like I ain't saying make a hit, but I gotta put some music out. Like I need to put some music out, and I know we've been talking about that, and we're gonna do that shit. But I feel like this is useful energy. Like this is positive energy, and this is stuff that we can show. Like I ain't even saying like we talking about it on a podcast, but we can really put this stuff on a song. And I'm not saying that, oh, it's gonna go on Billboard. That's not who we trying to reach, because we know that Billboard is manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
But we just trying to push it out to our people that it can land on some ears that could just change something. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
one turn
super
into
powerful.
1 turning to 2, 2 turning to 4, 4 turning to 8, 8 turning to 10. Like all of this stuff, it just happens if we just be consistent, like you were saying at the beginning. Like,
right. Real talk. And I think another thing too, like I thought about it as you were speaking about, people making music. People making music that didn't necessarily get their success from the street. But also another thing with that is staying independent, man. That's a big thing, because it'd be hard for folks to turn down them dollar signs. Because I mean, when you live in a certain way and somebody tell you they can change your whole life, but you just saying yes and signing something, it's hard to do. It's hard. But
yes, bro.
The thing about them labels is, bro, it's the staff. That's been a problem I recognized a few years ago. The staff, like, they got a lot of people in place that really don't have the concern for the melanated community. You feel me?
Right.
It's like, yeah, we'll put out this, which is crazy to me. But you really got you even got black people, bro, that's in some of these positions, and they still pushing, they still scouting for artists that's talking about the bull jump. But then you gotta understand, who is their boss?
Exactly.
What is their boss looking for? So that's why I say independence. You know what I mean? Don't even get involved with that label structure and agenda and all that, because they gonna push it on you. And they might be real subtle with it. They might be real subtle with it. But next thing you know, you trying to, just like with Kodak Black, bro. Like, I don't know where I saw this video, but I saw Kodak Black rapping when he was younger, bro. And he was spitting some positive stuff, bro. Like some real, like, hip hop, put it that way. So this was before he actually blew up. This is like a little clip that went viral before he blew up.
But talking about when he was like 12, 14, it's like...
Yeah, he was like a teenager. He probably was about 14.
I think I've seen the video you talking about. And that's when he was really ripping this shit, honestly.
Man, he was going hard back then, bro. But then you see where we at with it now.
Lifestyle, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's like we don't elevate. We stay in the same place. We just get our money and stay in the same place. We don't elevate.
Yeah.
But that takes me back to Chamillionaire, how he got out of his deal from a major deal.
Mm.
He said he called Nelly, right? He was trying to get out of his deal. And Nelly told him, bro, you need to get you a lawyer and you need to do a money audit. Mm. And he found out that his record label kept $600,000 from him. Like every check that they would give him, it would be money that they kept, and most of the artists didn't know that they was keeping his money.
Wow.
But you would have to get a lawyer to audit your shit for you to figure that out. And most people didn't know that they supposed to have an audit lawyer. So Chamillionaire got out of his deal by threatening the record label that he'll tell everybody on their roster to get a lawyer audit, an audit lawyer to audit their checks so they can pay them. And they let that man off his deal.
That's crazy. That reminds me of the Tony Braxton story. Because her label was keeping money from her. And she figured it out somehow, some way. I can't remember exactly. But they basically said, the label told her, we'll cut you this check, but you can't tell nobody about what happened. Because they fear, like you said, like with the Chamillionaire situation, they fear that if she told other people on the label, then they'll be like, well, my check at too.
Exactly. You talking about, that's over $500,000.
Right.
That was $600,000 that they was keeping from this man.
Right. And I think labels do that junk all the time, bro. It's just some people, you know, when you came from nothing and you get a little something, it's like, oh, okay. But once you, like, all right, for the Migos, I'm pretty sure it was a similar situation, because I remember a few months ago they were talking about how they wasn't getting all their money. And I think that was once they got to the point of, okay, we been having now. Like, we ain't lost by the whole we came from nothing no more. It's like, okay, we got something. Now where's all my money? But when you first coming in, it's like, hey man, I just came from an apartment, you know what I mean? Hey, I ain't questioning shit.
Facts.
But it just sucks that, you know, they already did the damage, because it's probably money that they never gonna see that they miss. But that's what happened when you know, get up under them powers that be, and they just handle you however they see fit.
Man, this thing here, man, it's a lot going on, and the reason that I talk about these things is for awareness, because, you know, awareness is another form of education. Like when you're aware of something, that's something that you know. It applies to you as knowledge. Right. So, like, because I know this show isn't about just, we ain't never had no topic like this. So I'm just saying that it's still a positive conversation. It's still a powerful conversation, because it brings awareness, and it's letting us know the powers that be for us to equip ourselves and see, you know, the traps.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we'll start, you know, doing things to fight it, you know, doing things to prevent it. Because I feel like we need to read more. Like, we need to be educated. We need to read more. And I think even the ones that are in poverty, they need to read. We need to read.
Right.
Like, we need to be educating ourselves. And I think that's not being put in front of us, because we don't think that books brings money. We don't think that being educated brings financial success. So it's like in our poverty, we tend to think more about the things that we feel gonna get us out of poverty, and that tends to be the things that we see on TV. You know, the football players, the rappers, and the things that we see, because it's not promoted. Like, real estate experts aren't promoted. What else? What other type of professions that we can get into? I'm talking about independent professions. Let's see, you have just being a legit business owner. Like, if you're in poverty, sit down and think about what you can do to add value to somebody that got some money. I'm just saying, just start using our minds. I feel like we should be saying that more. Like, we need to be producing that more, like putting it in our children more for them to think and use their minds, because that's where creation happens.
Right. And it's happening. It just need to be more, like you said, man. Just need to be more.
For real.
Because, it ain't. We
gonna do our part.
For shiggity. It just take time, though. That's all. It just take time. And it's a shift going on. It's definitely a shift going on. It's just taking a little time, and we up against, what's been our monsters for years, as a melanated people.
Yeah.
But it's definitely happening.
Agreed. So with that being said, we're gonna move on to our next segment, which is called What You Learned. And we're gonna put a gem down. Put a gem down for the folks, for them to take some value from the episode outside of the conversation that we just had. So do you want to go first?
I'll let you go first.
Okay, man, that echo is killing me.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from. Sound like it's on your end.
Okay. But one of the things that I just learned recently.
That echo ain't killing me.
Okay, it ain't killing me. Watch the words. You're right. But what I learned recently is kind of something that I already said, and that's allowing God to teach me to keep my energy in the right place. Because, like, when you think of past experiences, it influences the energy of that experience. You can think of an old moment that you had. You can think of a past experience, and those old emotions can flood your body. So I'm currently working on myself to forgive my past and to let go of it, and to not think and reminisce on it too much, because it affects you emotionally, it affects the mental health, because part of why mental illness remains is because we're holding on to them traumatic experiences, which causes us to respond in anxiety, depression, etc. So we have to, like, we are in a constant battle of removing those things from ourselves. Like our memory, our emotions are attached to memories. So true healing is going to come from forgiveness of the past. You have to forgive those moments that no longer are here. How? I don't know. I do know it's a process. I do know that this is a start of consciousness. Me consciously saying that I have to let go of that past because it's affecting my present. Like, by me saying that, it's going to send me into the right direction. No, I don't know how to completely heal from this. No, but I do know that me reminiscing on the past isn't helping. I do know that me being attached to traumas isn't helping. So the other flip side of that is me disconnecting from this physical realm of experience. So that's what I'm working on, man. I want to be more spiritual minded. That's my goal. I have to be more spiritual minded, because the more our minds are on the physical realm, the more problems we have on the physical realm. If our thought process, if everything that we think about is fueled from what's going on the physical realm, then that's all you're gonna get. So I want my mind to be more on spiritual things and more on my spiritual existence to cause a better experience on my physical realm.
Solid right now.
What about you, King?
Hey, man, that real solid, man. That real solid. I just want to remark on that first. And just, piggyback on that being so powerful. Because, man, I think that's probably the number one thing that I learned, and I'm still learning, but the number one thing I picked up from being in rehab, I remember my instructor, Miss Golden, she used to tell me, Victor, you need to live in the moment. You got to stay in the moment. And what you just said just reminded me of that, you know, and how I can't continue to carry those past experiences or emotions, you know? So, man, that's super powerful, bro, because in me practicing, working on living in the moment and letting go of old stuff, man, I found so much more peace, bro. So, man, I appreciate you for saying that and it being a reminder for me, for sure.
Yes.
But I'll say one thing I learned, man, was that RZA went through an experience like that. You just told me about that. That was knowledge to me. You know, important knowledge for me based on, you know, the type of stuff I'm into. So, that's what I learned, that RZA had gotten the deal, and then he took that deal, turned it down, and then went back and set something up for him and his home team, which I find very valuable and powerful. Very valuable and powerful. So I'm definitely going to look further into that and basically let the learning continue from there. So I appreciate you for mentioning that, even though you may not have known you were teaching me something, but you definitely were. So that's what I learned.
This is a joy talking to you, dog. And I also, when you watch the show, you're going to also find out that RZA went behind ODB back and got him a better deal. ODB was mad about that shit, but RZA was always looking out for the greater good of the group. Now, some of them got ill will. Some of them mad at RZA, but RZA, they call RZA like selfish, but RZA wanted the best for the group. Like he wanted them to have ownership. So like RZA went behind ODB back. ODB wanted to sign with Def Jam because, you know, Def Jam is like this big old record label company. But it was another company that was giving him a deal that was gonna let him keep his masters. Def Jam wanted his masters, but ODB just was excited to be on Def Jam. So he went behind his back and denied the Def Jam them and added him onto another deal where he can keep his masters and shit.
Wow.
ODB was mad as fuck though.
I'm pretty sure Def Jam had a bigger bag for him too.
They did, but shit, you know, RZA thinking about family, he thinking about kids, he thinking about the future.
Right.
Like,
hustlers, man.
I understand, like, we caught up right now, we hot right now, I understand. But this shit ain't gonna always be. We need ownership.
Thanks. Equity, man. Man, this is in. I'll bring that up later, but yeah, for sure. You want to have them masters. You definitely want to have ownership of them masters. But then again, that could be argued too. Because what you call it just sold all his for like a good chunk of change. I want to say Future.
Yeah, I think you need to let the value rise though. I feel like it was premature. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be greater down the line if you own these records and they're hits. Like, you got these hit records, these major hit records, but you no longer own them. So like, you took one check off of these records and you could have been paid years to come.
Yeah. Well, see, the only argument I got with that is, say if he was taking that money from the masters to acquire an asset that had a higher ROI.
Now, since you put it like that, yeah. I mean, shit gotta make sense. That's the only way I see somebody selling their masters. That's why I was saying, if you build your shit up and then sell them, or like, I'm just saying, like, as long as there's some value there, I agree with you selling. Like, but you selling them away before you even know what you got. You see what I'm saying? Like, the terms of the deal was that they're gonna own your masters. So you don't know what hits you was gonna get ready to make when you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true that. Yeah.
Like, you ain't even made the music yet, but you signed over your masters already.
Out the gate.
So it's like you could have went there and did a platinum record. Well, back then niggas was going like double platinum, triple platinum, all of that shit. So think about it. If he would have went to Def Jam and they made his shit blow up, which they had the money to do, that was gonna happen, bro.
Oh, facts.
So when they made that platinum record, he wouldn't have got none of that shit because he didn't own it.
Yeah,
He
that's
got
the tricky
percentage, like whatever the terms of the deals was, but I'm just saying he didn't own the song, is what I'm saying.
part. Right. It's a risk. I mean, you know, a lot of times people see that chick and be like, yeah, have a master. And I think that's why they go for a specific type of person. You know, these folks with these labels, I'm pretty sure they scope out, okay, what type of nigga this is, where this nigga grew up at. You know what I mean?
He just like money.
Yeah, he like money. He gonna be fucked up over there 1 million. We gonna fuck him up with this shit. When them niggas bringing in a projected 20 million off this nigga.
Exactly. But I mean, I think it's different for each artist. You know what I'm saying? I think Future can sell his catalog because Future can make 10 hits tomorrow.
I'm saying.
So that's different. Like he can sell that. Like he literally can sell his whole catalog and make another album and get that. Like, he not losing shit.
Yeah.
But see, the only reason I said something about ODB is because like they was still like getting started. Like they had, you know what I'm saying? Like they was known, don't get me wrong. People knew Wu-Tang Clan during that time. But longevity wise, you know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking like longevity. Like they hadn't been in the game for like no 10 years or no shit like that.
Right.
They was still fairly new to the game.
And that's how they got them. They probably saw, the label saw what they couldn't see.
Right.
That'd be what happened. Cause you know, a lot of times we just love what we do. We just making music. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We having fun. We ain't even thinking about getting Grammy. We just having fun. But the label, they be sitting back look like, oh shit, boy. Y'all see what them boys doing over there? Yeah, we won't in on that. We won't in on that right now. They don't even know it. They don't even know how big we finna make this thing be.
Bro, why you think these big record labels company hire black A&R?
Oh yeah, man. I was looking at one the other day. But that's what they do. They know it, man.
They know they can spot the talent for them in that melanated community.
Mm-hmm.
Like if anybody gonna know talent, like because we don't listen to y'all music, our kids just listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we got to get somebody that know the sound, that know the culture, that know the people, and they can go into the community and find these people.
Right. And see them just as much as culture versus as them, bro.
Talk way I see it. Kanye called him out. I mean, man, come on, man. That's all another topic, but
right. Same thing to me.
Moving on to the next last segment, which is the financial thing, the financial tip of the month. And this is a whole new month, man, by the time y'all hear this episode. So the new financial theme of the month is faith. Now, I know it sounds weird. I know you're thinking like, how is this gonna help me? How is this gonna help my finances? But faith open doors that you don't even see. And when I say by applying faith to your finances is through your giving, through your heart. So by having a heart to give, by having a heart of belief, by having a heart of confidence that good things are going to happen to you financially, you take that energy and you give to people who are less fortunate than you, and you just move in that energy and in that spirit. Golly, I hear myself, but we're gonna keep that financial thing short because I hear myself. We're gonna get that checked out. But do you have anything left to say, King Vic?
No, sir, man. Great episode, man.
Really was. Enjoyed talking to you, man, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for tuning in to conversation number 38. We'll see you guys back for conversation number 39. I'm co-host Mr. John Michael Best.
And I'm your other co-host, Victor Thomas II.
Gone, y'all.
Peace.
Are you stressed, anxious, or depressed? Well, here's some good news for you. We started a mental health movement called MH10, and we encourage people to pay more attention to their mental health. So do this for us. Take at least 10 minutes per day to take a walk in nature, a jog, run, or just meditation to decrease your stress, because stress is one of the leading causes of chronic physical and mental illnesses in the body. So if you want to join the movement, you can also post on social media, post your 10 minutes by using hashtag MH10 or mental health 10 minutes.